Hey folks, Alan MandicReally here. It is Prime Day 2021, day one anyway, and I've got a list I threw together of things that I found, deals I found you might find interesting, either the 3D printing world, the camera, computer space, things that my content is generally about. So let's check it out. You can find a link to this full list in the description down below. It's on my Amazon affiliate store where I have put together some tools and objects, things from my other content that you might find interesting. So let's just get through this stuff and let me show you what I found. First up, we have the Sunlu filament dryer. Now, I've been testing one of these out lately. I picked one up for myself, using it on some PETG that was being a little finicky for me, and I did find that I felt, maybe it's placebo effect, it improved my print quality with that material. Basically, if you're not familiar, it's just a little heater unit inside of a box that will heat your filament up to, I believe, a maximum of 55 degrees Celsius to dry it out, which is good for PLA and PETG at the very least, and it has worked out pretty darn well for me. It also has rollers inside of there, so you can leave your filament in there and actually feed the filament out from it and use it as a filament spool holder while you're printing as well. If you pick up the white version that I have listed, there's a $5 off coupon on top of the $10 off from Prime Day, so you'll get it for $34.99, which is actually $10 less than I paid for it when I bought it. An absolute must-have for any maker, 3D printer, anybody who's handy, DIY, in my opinion, is a set of digital calipers, or regular Vernier calipers, but we're going to go with the digital calipers here because they're easier for most folks. These on sale right now, $14.39. You know, I keep a set of those Vernier calipers, the digital ones, at the edge of my desk. I use these all the time when I'm doing design work, when I'm double checking prints that I've done, working on 3D printers. I keep a set in toolboxes, my car, my dad's garage. I've got so many sets of these things. You cannot go wrong having a couple of them floating around. And at less than $15, it's a no-brainer. You need to pick up a set of these. Next up, we have the Airy One Silk Filaments. These are kind of a metallic look to them. I've been using these for some various projects, and overall, I like this stuff. $17.99 for some silk filament PLA. I think it's a pretty darn good price. This bronze here is more of a gold, in my opinion, and they have what they call the dark gold. The dark gold is just a brown, honestly, but I like the brown. I really like this filament for things that are maybe not necessarily so hands-on. This is the bronze filament, this here with my canned grenade design here, and with the root beer barrel, I used the dark gold to get this finish on it. Overall, I like the way this filament turns out. What I can say about it is, it's a little more brittle than other PLAs. Like, if I really tried, I could break this design right now, whereas I might not be able to do that with some other filaments. So it's beautiful. It might be better for less functional objects, more model prints and things like that. However, oddly enough, the dark gold, this brown filament, actually feels much sturdier than the bronze filament does. So maybe it's just the bronze and the copper color that I've experienced that are pretty brittle. I can't say for sure. Moving right along, we got the ABS-like resin from the folks at Lagoon for those who are using SLA printers. A kilogram of the stuff right now is running $29.59, whereas a half kilogram is running $15.99 for the gray anyway. So, you know, this resin right here, it's 3D printer resin. It'll get the job done for you. My go-to recommendation for a starter 3D printer, what I usually recommend to folks, is the Ender 3 series of printers. Now, the Ender 3 base model and the Pro version do not come with a silent motherboard in them, so they can be a little noisy on the stepper motors because of the stepper drivers that they use. To some people, that's not a big deal. I personally hate it, so I always end up putting in one of the silent boards in those machines. The 4.2.7 silent board right here is on sale for $28 right now. So if you have one of those machines, you want to quiet it down, this also works, I believe, on like some CR10s and other machines with firmware changes, so consider checking that out. Speaking of the Ender 3, we've got the Ender 3 V2 on sale right now for $223.20. This thing comes with the glass bed on there. It's got the adjusters that are easy to adjust for the belt tension. You've already got that 4.2.7 silent board installed there, the LCD screen on this thing. There's a lot of things that people really like about this machine. All the upgrades to Ender 3s that a lot of people do, already packed into one machine, ready to go. That's on sale for, that's like $25 to $50 off depending on when you're looking at pricing. Now, if you're into cosplay, looking to make armor and helmets and things like that for models or whatever, you might need something that's a bigger printer. So we've got the CR10 V3 here. This is a direct drive setup on this thing. High quality all around design. It's got braces on the Z-axis. This is meant for your larger prints. 300 by 300 by 400 millimeter volume on this thing. Can do a lot of seriously big projects, and this is on sale right now for $423.20. You know, nice things about the V3, you've got the direct drive Titan extruder on there. You also have the 5015 parts cooling fan for those larger sections of prints. This can be a really nice upgrade to not even have to do yourself. It's already on the printer. Continuing along with the Creality stuff, we've got the most common upgrades that people usually make to an Ender series machine. You've got the metal drive extruder setup in there. You've got the enhanced strength bed springs to make bed leveling easier and keep the thing from coming out level on you often. I generally don't have that problem, but some people certainly do. And then you have the Capricorn tube, which can allow for easier filament feeding through the Bowden system, all in one kit for $18.99 here. The next thing we're going to look at is actually something I've done a dedicated video about. You can check out the link up here, and that's actually my streaming camera setup that I'm talking to right now, and how I have this Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K mounted to my desk so I can talk to you folks. Well, I guess actually I'm talking to a neat worker bee microphone, but that's beside the point. Let's look at this monitor mount setup. Yes, I use a monitor mount to go ahead and mount my camera to my desk. Now, the reason that I'm showing you a dual mount setup is you could actually use this to both mount a camera and a light, a camera and a monitor, or vice versa. You can switch this up. There's a lot of things you can actually do to mount things to a desk with one of these setups. But the primary reason I'm showing you this one is that with the 10% additional discount that you can get on it right now, it's under $20 for this setup. There are numerous single monitor setups on Amazon that are more expensive than that, so this just made sense to include on the list. And I think the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the Lagoon Neptune 2. I have no personal experience with this, that is why I put it at the end of the list. People that I trust, like 3D Printing Nerd, Thomas Son Lauderer, and Uncle Jesse, have reviewed this thing, and the worst thing that they could say about it is it was a paper launch and it was almost impossible to buy when they first launched it. Well, it's in stock today for $169. This is basically an Ender 3 clone that has some of the upgrades that people really like to do to Ender 3, so it's probably closer to an Ender 3 V2 than it is a base model Ender 3 for close to the Ender 3 base model price. $169, there it is. It's on the Amazon affiliate list today. Now, of course, everything I showed you is in my Amazon affiliate store, and those are affiliate links you can find in the description and the comments down below. Those being affiliate links, meaning that you will not be charged anything more than if you had gone to Amazon on your own, but I will get a small commission for sending you folks over there, my time spent putting this list together and giving you some options here. So please consider using that. It helps in the continued production of my content. I mean, heck, I'm going to be picking some items up off of that list myself, so I sure could use those commissions. Thank you, folks, for checking this video out. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please go ahead and drop it a like. Let me know in the comments down below. What deals have you found? If you found some other deals that I didn't see, please let me know in the comments down below. There's so many things. I can only find so many of them. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Get subscribed to keep up to date with all the MandicReally content. Thank you, folks, for coming around.